Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Albion. And when last we left off, we're in the inner areas of Khamulon, and here are two completely optional fights. In this area that is completely enclosed by curtains is a pair of Fear 2s and an Animal 2 and an Animal 3. That is quite a common pairing of animals in Khamulon. If we don't go into that central area, we don't have to fight them at all. We could just totally go around and bypass both of them. But we do want to get experience, and really, this encounter here isn't that hard at all. The second one, however, will require a little bit of strategy, so we need to be rather careful. Hopefully a critical hit. No critical hit managed to deal with the fear there, and a good use of magic resistance on Drer managed to prevent that spell from going off. It was either a fireball or a fear spell. Either way, we don't want them to go off. There is one of them gone, and the other one. 50 experience points, not bad at all. This one, however, we're going to need to use a Frost Avalanche here. Because even though Sira has all of that speed stat, the Animal 3 will still go first, and that is very dangerous. And we can't predict where the Animal 3 is going to go. If you aim a spell at the Animal 3, it will move, and the spell will be completely wasted. Also, Animal 2s at this point, they are not a problem at all. And if an Animal 3 is stationary, they're not actually much of a problem either, because Banished Demon now works on them, because Melthas has been using it enough, and that is a good thing. Alright, let's go over here, and there is an enemy here. One single druid that's trying to come and get us, and that is a really bad position to be in. Imagine, if you will, he knows that there are many guards in the area we've just been in, and we've managed to fight our way through to here. He knows full well that we've managed to defeat everyone else, and now it's his turn to come and fight us, and only him. There's no one else here. Also, 7 life points is not a bad thing to use there at all, just to make sure he doesn't use any spells. Really, it's not going to make any difference, because we're going to use recuperation after this fight anyway. And there is one dead magician. Also, we're not going to be grabbing that ration, because as somebody pointed out, rations are in fact shared between everyone. It kind of makes sense that that's the case. So, we don't need to worry about that. We really don't need to worry about it if we're using recuperation anyway. There we go. The rations are still there, though, just in case Harriet doesn't have the magic for recuperation. Over here is a new enemy type we haven't yet encountered. There they are! The Plagues. They are not that tough, really. They don't have that much health, and they're not able to take much damage either, as in they can't resist it. But they do have very nasty attacks, so we're going to be very sure that they don't attack us back by using Sira to use a Frost Avalanche, because Sira is far faster than they are. They are effectively the undead, and they look quite grisly too. Those claws look very nasty. But fortunately, Frost Avalanche is more than sufficient, and Drer and Tom can easily mop up that Plague there. No, we haven't found a Plague 1 yet. I don't know if we ever encounter one of them. We definitely encounter the Plague 2s and Plague 3s, but the Plague 1 we may not actually meet. That one is pretty much dead, and that one is also gone. I think Plagues also count as demons as well, because they disappear in that explosive cloud of energy. Also, here is a hidden switch. I distinctly remember this switch being here, because you can't open this door that leads to some quite nice loot if you don't use the switches. There's one over here, and unfortunately, these are not Plagues. This is an Animal 2 and an Animal 3. And fortunately, we can deal with this quite securely and safely. Remember before the first time I went through this, when things went really wrong when I was fighting the animals? I think it was far slower and far more precarious, but our party's a lot better equipped and just generally higher level than they were the first time round I went through this. Alright, one Banished Demon here. Let's use that. We might as well get it to maximum level. Maybe I should start... Oh, never mind. One critical hit pretty much ended that. And level 14. Always nice to get. There we go. One door has opened, and if memory serves, back here are no enemies, just, one chest full of loot, and another chest full of loot. Unfortunately, they're both locked, and this is where the Thief's Amulet really comes in handy because these are, I think, trapped, and we want to actually have Tom be the leader, otherwise his lockpicking skill is not not losed. We didn't lose any health there, we only just lost a little bit of time in our failed attempts. Saying the wrong word. Sometimes it's silly. We want to grab these potions, they're really good, and I think we'll grab these as well, poison antidotes. Don't really need any torches. The fire rains, however, they're always a nice thing to get. We can always use them in a pinch. There we go. And now we have to switch back the power amulet. About to say the strength amulet. It pretty much is the same thing. Otherwise, we won't be able to move. There we go. It is a little darker too, because we don't have a Iskai leading the party. And there we go. Oh! Accidentally, I didn't put the Thieves' Amulet back on. That was a silly thing to do, and that is a trap. Fortunately, we were able to get in this time, and here is a fire ring. Not a bad thing to find whatsoever. There we go. We'll leave the light staff there, because there's really no need to have that on our person when we have Sira. Also, really haven't been using the Jacantos stone, which gives us the ability to use a small fireball 255 times. It's a really, really good item. Right. I think we've done everything we need to here. Yep, that is everything. Does Khunag know Fire Rain? That is a good question. Let's pass this over and give Fire Rain over. We have a lot of scrolls. A lot of scrolls indeed. Do you know this one? Well, you do indeed, so we might as well use it at some point, but not just yet. Over here, however, is another area we can go to. This will lead us to the next main area, and saving is quite a good idea. Also, we've finally gone all the way round on the save slots, and now we're back to the very beginning. There we go, save slot 1 overwritten. And now we must move on into a new area that's not really connected to the area we were in before at all. There's apparently some loot over here, and we might as well go and find it. But I think, yep, these are locked. Most things we're going to find are locked now. And some of them really aren't that useful. Like this one here, 42 torches and 114 rations. That's not to say that you shouldn't unlock any of the chests you encounter, as some of them have really good items in them. I don't remember if this one does though. There's only one way to find out, and that is nope, nothing useful here at all. 52 rations, we have more than enough of them. Also, we should probably switch to Dra here. And also, if you think there's going to be any loot in here, you are very, very wrong. There is just an encounter and nothing more. Fortunately, it's just a pair of Magician Wands, and we can take care of them quite comfortably. There we go. That's pretty much mopped it up nice and securely. A few rounds and there'll be nothing more of these magicians, but 2 corpses that we took a few gold pieces from. Just a couple. Why do they even have gold? That is quite a good question. Maybe it's the amount of money they're paid as assassins, but their community seems pretty self-contained. It makes you wonder why they specifically need gold. I mean, the Khamulon needs gold in general, but the individual druids and warriors, I'm not so sure. Either way, this magician is pretty much doomed. Yep. We'll take your 4 gold, and then we'll move on, and confirm there is indeed absolutely nothing in here. Nothing at all. But over here is a puzzle that I Oh, hello! There are a trio of warriors here. How are you? You are very difficult because you're a pair of 3s and 2, but that is really something I can take care of quite comfortably. A Frost Avalanche here, and a few attacks from pretty much everyone. We may even use Khunag's Fireballs, because why not? We're gonna want to use Fireballs as much as we can here, because the warriors can hurt. The magicians are a little bit touch and go with what they do, but the warriors most certainly are far more deadly, in that their strategy is a lot more simple. Move up close and attack, or stay at range and attack. They're just pretty reliable when it comes to them attacking. You can sort of guess what they're going to do. Right now, of course, they're going to do nothing because they can't do anything. mainly because they're frozen in place and unable to react as we cut them down. They were going to most certainly try and cut us down though, so there we go, that is one dead, and that is, yeah, it's another dead. I was sort of guessing they took roughly the same amount of damage, and I was right. They were most certainly going to cut us down if we gave them the opportunity, so we didn't give them the opportunity. Also, I feel sorry for this Khamulon 2 here. Very sorry, because he just died in a critical hit. We'll take another one of these and another one of them, because why not? It's a lot of gold, and this is why I wasn't worried about spending all of our money before we moved into here. Oh, I remember this puzzle quite well indeed. I'll just explain it as we move along. There is a very large area here. It's very large for a very particular reason. There are 3 sealed off locations, here, here, and here, and each one of them has a trio of coloured flames that you need to be very careful about. There are 4 switches within them. You don't actually need to deal with the flames to use the switches, but it's probably a good idea to do so. Now, how do you go and get rid of these flames, I wonder? Well, the answer is quite simple. Over here is a switch, and this opens up an area over here. In these areas is a location where you can lure the flames over onto a panel, and once they get into that panel, they do get destroyed. To open up this, however, you need to go and press the corresponding floor plate, which will unleash the flames, and you need to be very careful about avoiding them, because they do hurt, and they will very quickly kill your entire party if you let them. They also home in on you, something you need to remember. But now that we're here, we can be quite safe in the fact that they hopefully won't be able to kill us. If memory serves. Yep, that one's gone, and that one's gone. There is another one, though. There are 3. And I think... has it come from behind us? We need to be very careful about that, because there are a trio of flames, and we've only encountered 2 of them. Where is the other one? There's definitely something nearby. The monster eye is telling us that we're in trouble. But how are we in trouble if we can't see it? Well, there's only one way to find... Ah, hello, how are you? There you are. We're going to lure you over here. And then you're going to come around and go on this panel. And once you've got on this panel, we can quite safely press the switches that are in the room where the flame was. Unless the flame is coming from behind us. I don't think it is. However, the flame is not actually that good at homing in on us. Oh, yes it is. It's much better. Yep, it's much better than I thought it was. And Harriet is unconscious. That's really not good. Fortunately, the flame has been defeated. And this is where having the ability to heal with 2 characters really comes in handy. I don't think Harriet's able to use recuperation yet. Also, Harriet's healing is very good. It is very mana inefficient, but it's also just very good indeed. Also recuperation, yep, nobody is tired. But it still uses the spell points to cast it, so you need to be careful. You can always check by pressing the rest button. But you can use it, I think, even when the... Actually, I'm not sure you can use it when there are enemies around. That may be a incorrect statement there. You want to use this, however, to open up another one. It's best not to deal with all of them at once, though. Using all of them is a very bad idea, because then you'll be luring flames over that really shouldn't be going into those particular corridors. We want to now go into this one here, and sort of just wait. And make sure that the flames don't sneak up behind us, because if they do, we are in some serious, serious bother. Here comes one of them. Hello, how are you, Mr. Flame? We want to make sure that none of them come round that way, though. Because if they do... Where did the flame go? Where did the flame go? That's really not encouraging. Are you going... Oh! You're over there! We need to very quickly move away. Very, very quickly. That is really bad and very surprising. And I'm surprised that anyone is still alive right now. We need to back up really, really quickly because that was startling. Okay, let's regroup, shall we? Up here. That went kind of wrong. We can rest now, but recuperation might actually be better. Oh, nobody is tired. But apparently we can rest. So people were apparently tired. I'm not sure what happened there, but that seems to be a little bit wrong. Either way, some healing will most certainly not go amiss. That wasn't good. That went very badly wrong, and that is an example of how that puzzle can completely and totally backfire on you. There we go. Everyone is moderately healed, and if we go into here, we need to... The problem is we have all those flames just sort of walking around in random locations. We want them all pretty centralized, so we need to go and find them now. Where are those flames? There's one there. Okay, there's one there. And there are none there. Okay, there's just one there. If we can lure just one of them over, that will be a start. Where has it gone? I don't know where it's gone, but I know where it was. There's one there. There's one there. Okay, we'll lure one over here. Luring one is a start. Okay, it's heading over this way. Come this way, Mr. Flame, and please don't ambush me over here. There we go. Any more? There must be another one there's the second one. This time they're coming in a nice orderly fashion. Sometimes the game can startle you, and surprise flames can indeed do that. You need to be very careful when you're going around these corners, because you don't want a flame to startle you like that. They can't go this way, so where is the third one? There it is. The third one is in fact coming this way. Maybe we can lure it over here if we're quick. There we go. They've all been dealt with now. The third one we need to deal with far better than we did the second one. Also notice that, we'll go over here to show it off, there was no easy route to get to them, because, these two anyway, because they're on the sides as opposed to this being straight on. There is one more area though, the area with the green flames that we need to go and deal with. Let's open this up and try that a little bit better than we did the other ones. So I believe the green flames are the middle. Yes, it's the middle one. So we need to get them over to the middle. This actually shouldn't be too difficult because it's right here. Unfortunately, there is the minor problem of the flames being very close by when you go in, so they will start following you very, very quickly. Also, the flames just sort of path immediately to you, and these areas that we're in are not the best for letting them path to us. But fortunately, they're not doing too badly this time round. Come this way, Mr. Flame, to your doom. Your doom that most Ooh, the other one is not coming this way. We need to be observant of that, because, no, not coming this way. You should be coming this way, Mr. Flame. Where is that flame? That's rather bad. I really want the flame to be, visible. Where is it? Aha, there's one. The other one, fortunately, is not behind us. I'm paying close attention to over here, though, because I really don't want to be ambushed by a flame. Fortunately, I've only managed to be ambushed by a flame too many times. Where did the other one go? I have no idea, but I'm going to have to be very careful in trying to find it. Have to pay careful attention to the monster eye to track it down. Or maybe it's just gone. I don't believe that it's gone. Either way, there are a selection of switches we can press. This one, that one, and this one here. Oh, there is something nearby. The monster eye just sort of went into alert mode. Something has happened. I don't know what, though. No things here? Nothing here? Maybe it's already been dealt with, but I'm not so... It sounds like it managed to walk into the flame all by panel all by itself, which I'm very happy about, because having an errant flame around is really bad. And there is a second selection of 4 dealt with. Also, I don't remember what these doors do. I know that some of them, those ones have already been used, so we'll go to these ones here. I know that some of the doors... that can no longer be used, so it actually is these ones. I was just a little bit too far away. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have now finally opened the way this way. It's a very important thing to do. Also, there are no enemies here at all. Also, the things with the pillars. That is certainly style over substance there, unless they're reinforced, or unless a really skilled architect made sure that that would work. But we managed to get through a really, really tricky puzzle here. A very tricky puzzle. Also, this place is rather big, and we've barely scratched the surface. So, I'll catch you next time, folks. For when we come back, hopefully we won't run into flames like I did just then. That was rather silly. But not as silly as trying to rest in this area. In fact, trying to rest in this area is a pretty good idea. Also, you'll notice that there's still a lot of illumination here. That's good. I don't actually know if it's because the light spell is still going, unlikely, or because this area is just well lit, but illumination is a good thing. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.